Okay, and we are live. ¿Qué tal, amigos? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with this evening's live stream. 7:40 p.m. it is today, starting 5 minutes later than we normally do, and it's also the 6th of July. And I'm on the road, so this is an impromptu live stream, let's say, so anything could go wrong. And if it does, it's not my fault. It could be the fault of the Wi-Fi here in the hotel. It could be the fault of the connections in my temporary setup here. So if something goes wrong, that is the reason. But hopefully, fingers crossed, nothing will go wrong this evening. Now, we're going to take a look at some of the main stories that have caught my attention in the press over the weekend. We'll take a look at some comments that have been left on the channel too by viewers, and we'll go into the chat section towards the end of the live stream this evening and see what is happening there. Now, we'll get straight into the news, and the first piece of news that caught my attention, this one here, related to the hot weather here in Spain currently, the heat waves that we have been having, and the tragedies that turn out as a result of these heat waves. As we can see here, heatwave deaths surge in Spain. Most go unreported. Heat-related deaths in Spain are rising sharply, yet the majority never make the headlines. This summer alone, individual cases include a 75-year-old man in Córdoba, a 67-year-old in Plasencia, and a 51-year-old cleaner in Barcelona. Official reports cite 6 deaths due to heat stroke in June, but these represent only a fraction of the true toll. Excessive heat kills thousands each summer, often silently, especially among vulnerable populations like the elderly. June 2025 was the hottest on record in Spain, and estimates from the daily mortality monitoring system, the MOMO, suggest over 400 heat-related deaths that month. Though this figure is likely conservative, these are statistical estimates based on temperature thresholds and mortality comparisons with previous years, not confirmed individual cases. Another analysis tool, MACE or MACE, using a different methodology, puts the death toll for June at over 4,000. Most victims suffer organ failure due to extreme heat, a cause rarely attributed directly on death certificates. So there we go, the intense heat here in Spain claiming more lives than we seem to think. 4,000 according to one analysis tool, and another report also saying that in the month of June alone, 400 heat-related deaths. So you have to be careful, especially when it comes to organ failure, elderly people especially, and heading into these heat waves, which can be extreme, as we know. In recent times in Madrid, for example, central Spain, the heat has been unbearable. The nighttime temperatures also, and people struggling to find a cool place to basically get out of the heat. And so it is difficult, and that is the result of the heat waves here. Now, I know what some people are going to say, Stuart, absolute rubbish. It's always hot in Spain. No one knows what causes these deaths, but that's what's being reported in the press, so like it or not. Second piece of news now, and we can see that the opposition leader, the main opposition leader, Mr. Feijóo, seeks solo government, but leaves door open to Vox and other alliances. Alberto Núñez Feijóo, leader of Spain's Popular Party, the PP, has outlined his intention to govern alone if he reaches power, while remaining open to parliamentary alliances. In his closing speech at the PP Congress, Feijóo responded directly to a call from former Prime Minister José María Aznar to clearly state his goals and methods should he win a majority. Feijóo declared it was time to be clear, promising a solo government but without excluding deals with Vox or other parties, including the PSOE, though explicitly not Pedro Sánchez's leadership, nor Catalan and Basque separatists. His only political red line is Bildu. Reconfirmed as party leader with 99% of the vote, Feijóo also pledged to maintain social measures and subtly reached out to far-right voters. He urged the PP not to become complacent despite favourable polls, and called for a strong majority to bring what he sees as stability and clarity to Spain's politics. So there we go, Mr. Feijóo in his conference at the weekend. There was also a Socialist Party conference as well. and the leader there of the PP party saying that he is open to other alliances, even open to an alliance with the current governing body, the Socialist Party, but without Pedro Sánchez at the helm, of course. That is an absolute no-no for Mr. Feijóo. So we'll see if he does get elected in 2027 when elections roll around. But he thinks this is his opportunity. But as we know, time will tell. Spanish politics quite complicated, and nothing is a sure bet as far as politics is concerned here. Third piece of news, and over half of Spain's roads in serious disrepair. Urgent investment needed. A staggering 52% of Spain's state, regional and provincial roads, totaling 54,373 kilometres, and now in a serious or very serious state of disrepair. The worst affected regions include Aragon, Castilla-La Mancha and Galicia. According to the 2025 report by the Spanish Road Association, the AEC, the country faces a road maintenance deficit of nearly 13.5 billion euros. This year's findings are particularly robust as the AEC used advanced digital imaging and AI for the first time, analysing around 4,000 kilometres of roads with high precision. The results show a dramatic 251% increase in very serious deterioration since 2022, rising from 13,000 to nearly 34,000 kilometres. These roads require urgent reconstruction within a year due to both structural issues such as potholes and alligator cracking and surface damage like deep cracks and wear. The report underscores a critical need for swift and substantial investment to prevent further decline and ensure safety. So that is the state of the roads here in Spain currently. Not as good as we would like them to be. Underinvestment, again, the cause, no doubt. And as we can see, the government needs to, again, pull the proverbial finger out and fix the roads. 54,000 kilometres of bad roads in the country, and this coming off the back of a serious accident the other day that killed a football player, a famous football player for Liverpool, Portuguese football player, dying on Spanish roads. Not sure exactly what caused that crash. Some people are saying it was a tyre blowout. Maybe it was due to the bad conditions of the roads. I don't know, just speculation at the moment. But yeah, we don't want to see people lose their lives on roads in bad conditions. And the drive up to where I am today, let's be honest, some of the roads have seen better days. Let's be honest about that. But give me your opinions in the comment section below. What needs to be done with the roads here in Spain? More investment or not? Let me know what you think and what the roads are like in your part of the country. Into the comment section I'm going to go now. We'll check out what has been happening in the comment section. The first one that I'm going to look at today is this one here from Tidono. What's going on in Spain? You are usually excellent and efficient. I was there just 9 months ago and everything ran smoothly. Thanks, Tidono, for the comment. I mentioned this in a video that I put out yesterday, that the majority of trains seem to run on time. The majority of planes take off on time. People catch their flights, but there have been some issues in recent times with both trains and with one airport in particular, long queues. I read some comments here on the channel saying that long queues are fairly common in some airports. For example, Malaga Airport, a lot of British people complaining about the long queues in that airport, obviously because it is a popular destination for British people and they have to go through passport control now, as we know, so it can be an issue for people, especially if the police booths, because it is the national police here in Spain that are in charge of passport control, and if the booths are undermanned, then obviously there can be some extra delays, which we don't want to see. And of course, at the number one airport in Spain, Madrid-Barajas, the other day, chaos was taking place there when I'm not sure of the exact amount of people, but lots of people missed their flights because of, I think it was an IT failure failure, but people are disputing that claim. People are just saying that it was an understaffing problem. Don't know exactly what's going on, but something needs to be sorted out, and especially when it comes to the trains, because far too often we read of serious train delays, trains stopping in the middle of nowhere because of power failures and the like, and people being stranded on trains, as I said, happening far too often, in my opinion. But again, just my opinion. Another one here from Will. I hated the Madrid airport with their slow customs, difficult train system to get to other terminals, and a short connection time to get the connection. Missed the Valencia connection at 3 p.m, then told I would have to pay 1,000 euros for a later flight. Took Renfe into Valencia and arrived at 11:30, or I think that, 11:30, but glad I had an earlier connection on the flight home. Madrid is not an easy passenger-friendly airport. Thanks, Will, and I'm sure many people would agree with you that Madrid is not a passenger-friendly airport, especially Terminal 4. Some people would say. I think that is the issue, and that's where the problems were the other day. Long queues to get through passport control, connections sometimes missed, and the train system maybe not reliable getting from the main terminal to the satellite terminal, and that was the problem the other day also. So the newest airport in Madrid, at least, I'm not sure if it's the newest airport in Spain or the newest terminal in Spain, Terminal 4, a big building on the outskirts of Madrid, not getting good reviews from people like the one that we just saw there, complaining about it, but managed to get to Valencia by train. So there is an alternative, which is positive. Another comment here from Chris. Was the transport failure a breakdown, or was it deliberate? Chris, thanks for the comment. Well, if you listen to the government, they hint at the fact that maybe it was deliberate. They've used the word sabotage on numerous occasions, especially when it comes to the train system. Sabotage. There was a hot mic the other day, a mic that was left on when one of the ministers was speaking, and the word sabotage was mentioned. And of course, when you use the word sabotage, there's a political connotation there. Maybe it's your political enemies are trying to get back at you by destroying the infrastructure and annoying the commuters on the infrastructure. I don't know, but the government frequently uses this word rather than saying, well, it's underinvestment. We haven't spent enough money on these things. We need to be spending more. And we saw the roads. It's clear to see that there needs to be more money spent on roads. But of course, the government doesn't spend money where it should be spending it. They have other priorities, of course. What those priorities are, I don't really know. But things like roads and infrastructure, maybe not the priority at the moment for the current government. Hence the problems. Thanks for Chris for that comment. Another one here from Marco. If you're going to live to 100, retirement at 71 isn't a problem. Thanks, Marco. We saw an article the other day saying that young people here in Spain might have to set their retirement back to the age of 70 or 71. Not sure exactly what age it was, but because of their late entrance into the job market, meaning that they won't get enough years under their belt to qualify for a full pension, so they'll have to keep on working in order to claim that full pension, because the way the system works here is that you need to be working for a certain amount of years, 35 or 40 years, whatever the total amount is, to claim that full pension, so being pushed back. But Marco's optimistic. If you live until 100, who cares? If you retire at 71, you're still going to have 29 good years retired, hopefully with full health. Let's be honest, getting to the age of 100 in full health, not that easy, Marco, not that easy. But keep your optimism up. Keep your optimism up there, my friend, and you'll live a happy life, no doubt. Another one here from Marilyn. I never choose summer to go to Spain, spring or fall for me. Heading to Barcelona in October. Muy emocionada. I'm looking forward to it, says Marilyn. Thanks, Marilyn, for the comment there. Yep, I would also recommend not traveling to Spain in the summer months, July, August, parts of June now included, parts of September as well. Just too hot. Can't really do anything. You're out of the. You can't visit things during those peak hours of the day. You can't see a lot of the main attractions. If you're going to a coastal resort, sitting by the pool and sipping on pina coladas, no problem. But if you're doing city tourism here in Spain, especially in some of the interior parts of the country, the Madrids, the Castillas and places like that, you're not going to have a good time traveling during those peak summer months. So Marilyn on the ball there, coming to Spain in spring or autumn or fall, as they say in the States, and heading to Barcelona in October and looking forward to it. Thanks, Marilyn, for the comment, and I hope all goes well with your stay. Now, I'm just going to check the connection to make sure that everything's running smoothly. It says here, excellent connection now. There was a bit of a problem before, but hopefully we've pushed through that. So let's continue. Where am I? Let's see. This one here, the last comment here. We saw that one from Marilyn. This one here from Doherty. Or Doherty. My impression is that a lot of Spaniards wouldn't be too upset if tourism drastically decreased. Thanks, Duati, for the comment. Your impression is wrong. Lots of Spanish people would be upset if tourism drastically decreased because they depend on it. Tourism, a very, very important sector for Spain's economy. We talk nationally, something around 13.5% of GDP at a national level. But of course, when you go to the tourist areas in the country, those being the coastal areas, the Alicantes, for example, the Malagas, the Canary Islands, the Balearic Islands, you start to get above the 20, 30, 40% of GDP comes from tourism. Islands like Ibiza, for example, wouldn't exist without tourism, let's be honest. It creates problems, we all know. And a lot of people wish that tourism disappeared, but a lot of people need it and rely on it. So there's a lot of negativity out there. I've seen comments on the channel from people saying in the States that there's a lot of negative press about this. People are being warned off traveling to Spain because of these protests that we have seen. But let's put it into perspective. The protests are a minority. Yes, they can be annoying because they specifically target people and that are on holidays. They're targeting tourists. They're going to main tourist sites and holding their demonstrations at those places. So they're visible demonstrations, but it's a minority. Let's put that into perspective, a minority. And let's remember that Spain is trying to hit 100 million tourists this year. So as I said, very important for the economy is tourism in this country. Let's not ever doubt that. Now, that's the end of the content. We're going to go into the live chat section now in just a moment. Before I do, I want to say thanks to people that have supported the channel in recent times, people that have bought me a coffee, of course, and the super thanks option as well. Longer term supporters on Patreon, thank you very much for that support. We've got the channel members here on the YouTube channel that also commit a fee every month. 99 cents is the minimum, I think. Thank you very much for that support. Without your support, guys, this channel would not be around still. I probably would have packed it in years ago, but I'm motivated by not only the support that you guys give me, but also the economic support, let's say, but also the support that I see here, people watching, people liking the videos. On the question of liking, I'm going to put that on the screen as well. If you haven't hit the like icon yet, please do so. Just below the video, you will find it. Hit the like icon. We'll see if we can get up to a decent tally. 56 likes we're sitting at currently. So if you haven't hit the like button, do it, please. It doesn't cost anything. If you like the content, hit that like button. On the other hand, if you don't like the content, hit the dislike button. I don't care. Hit the dislike button. Do whatever you want to do. And also, if you're not a subscriber of the channel, lots of people that watch these videos are not subscribed here on YouTube, so they have no idea when I put videos out. But if you become a subscriber, you will know when those videos are being published and when the live streams are happening. So do us a favor and hit the subscribe button as well. Also completely free. Not a cent it will cost you. Now, into the chat section I'm going to go. Let's see if we can get through this quickly today because I'm not in my usual location and I need to get something to eat. Let's be honest about that. It's getting close to dinner time, 8 p.m. Want to get into the restaurant early today if I can. Andrew is the first person in the chat. Good evening, Stuart and all. Hope you're having a good weekend. Bright sunshine and then heavy rain here in London, southeast. So maybe the hot weather has deserted the UK. I don't know. Bright sunshine and then heavy rain there in the south of London, southeast London. Victoria also saying here, Victoria just saying here that good evening everyone, happy to catch the live stream tonight. It's been a few weeks. Thanks Victoria for that. A valued member also is Victoria, as was Andrew. Sani's in the chat as well. Warm but showery with thunder, Basingstoke. Hope you all have had a lovely weekend. Thanks Sani for that. TOL is in the chat as well. Valued member also is Al, currently in sunny Philadelphia. Hola amigos, joining the conversation, 30 degrees there. Gigi in the chat also, the Camino de Santiago expert. Greetings from Santiago de Compostela. Just beginning my last walk in Spain this year, walking back to Madrid, then flying home. Loving the hot weather here in Galicia. So Gigi likes the hot weather, of course, coming from Arizona. Stephen's in the chat too. Hello, Stu and all, from a sunny 1 minute, then raining the next, North London. Looking forward to getting back to Torrevieja, the old tower, tomorrow for some proper summer weather. Thanks, Stephen. Regular visitor to Spain is Stephen. Oscar's in the chat too. Houston, Texas. Massive flooding and deaths in Texas made the Spanish news. It is a tragedy. Yes, it has, Oscar. I saw it on the news today. The severe flooding in parts of Texas, I believe. I saw the death toll there. I think it was 35 people reported, maybe more now, not sure. So anybody that is in that part of the world, Oscar, for example, if that is an affected area, take care, stay well, and hopefully the flood waters will subside soon. They'll go down and you'll start to get back to some type of normality. We're all too familiar with flooding in Spain, as you guys know. Kev's in the chat as well, coming in from Matheron in Murcia. Can't complain even when fitting a kitchen for my brother with the British GP on in the background, says Kev. The British GP, I think it's finished, is it not? Mr. Norris winning today, unfortunately. Steppenwolf, Colin in the chat. Records only go back 250 years. Planet has been here billions of years, always changing and always will. Thanks, Colin, for that. What else we got going on here? Fluttergirl coming in from Toronto, 32 degrees there Celsius, returning to work tomorrow. Chrissy's coming in from the south of Spain, where it's very, very hot, 38, not 40 in the shade. Tragic for Hunt in Texas. There we go. So it might have been is that a particular place in Texas? Is it there? Like I said, our thoughts with those people suffering the unexpected flooding. I think it was unexpected, or at least that's what I read in the paper here. Bronny's in the chat. Home again after 2 weeks on the Costa del Sol, staying at Nerja. We found the high humidity a bit of a challenge. A lovely holiday though, enjoying the live stream. Best wishes, Bronny. Yes, Bronny, a bit of a challenge can that humidity be in those coastal areas, especially with the elevated temperatures, of course. Jimbo's in the chat. On holiday, talk soon. Thanks, Jimbo, for popping in and telling us that. Janet, bit late, didn't realise there was a live stream. I didn't put it up until late, Janet. Janet's a member of the channel, so she would have got the notice. I wasn't sure whether I was going to be able to do one. It all depends on the internet connection. Sometimes in these hotels, Janet, I don't know if you know this or not, but sometimes the hotel Wi-Fi is not reliable. And I can't put a live stream out if there's not a reliable Wi-Fi connection, because I use my phone for the camera, and I don't think I can use the phone connection while I'm using the camera. I think that is the case. I'm not sure, but it's a bit of an issue. It's a bit of an issue, but I got here, realized that I got here earlier than expected, around 5:30, and realized that I could do a live stream, hence the notification. Iggy's coming in from a nice high-end. Thanks, Iggy, for that. Good to see you in the chat. Regular viewer also, Iggy. Simon saying that French air traffic control has caused 2 lots of visitors, 2 hours delays coming through the UK. Thanks, Simon. Yeah, French air traffic controllers, I think, have been on strike. Nothing unusual about a strike in France. It's like a national pastime going on strike there. What else we got going on here? Bronny's saying the queues at Malaga Airport today weren't too bad. Loads of people there, but the queues were moving at an acceptable speed. Our flight left on time, so no complaints with me. Anything there today? Thanks, Bronny. Like I said, it was just somebody in the chat section or the comment section made the remark about Malaga Airport and the long queues. Maybe they're not a regular thing. Maybe it's just every now and again. Don't know. I suppose it depends on how many flights are going out at the same time, how many flights back to the UK. Maybe you've got a London flight going out at the same time with a Birmingham flight, with maybe a Liverpool flight. I don't know. That could be the issue when you get 2 or 3 flights together leaving. Iggy doesn't believe the government, or wouldn't believe the government if they told him the sky was blue. Yeah, lots of people would agree with you there as well. Simon's saying, on average, men live to 83. Think about the numbers. That means that 50% are dead by that time. Then the curve goes down quite quickly. Yeah, thanks, Simon. I think the person that left the comment, can't remember the person's name, but he's probably looking 20 or 30 years into the future when those averages maybe will go up. I think that some people are predicting that the average age of people will go up, or the lifespan of people will go up to more than 83 for men, and whatever the number is for women, probably more. So there is a theory that it will go up given the improvements in health systems and things like that. More people getting access to healthcare will increase lifespan, we think, or life expectancy. Joaquin saying tourism is important everywhere. 10% of the UK GDP comes from tourists. Thanks, Joaquin, for that. 13% in Spain versus 10% in the UK equal. Well, it's 3 points difference there, Joaquin, not necessarily equal, but I understand the point. It is important, tourism. Are there any protests in the UK? Are there anti-tourism protests in the UK? I don't know. I haven't seen anything in the press, but then again, I don't read a lot of UK press. Al, yeah, this is what I'm saying, Al. Al's spoken to several people who are afraid to go to Spain because of the bad publicity. I try to dispel the rumours, as we do here on the channel as well, Al. We try to dispel those rumours, but unfortunately, some people believe the negativity. Randy saying, hi, love your vids. I know you're a Spain guy. However, if there was any other place in the world you could live, where would it be and why? I'm open to any suggestions, Randy. I could quite easily, if I had the financial security, I could quite easily live in many countries if I didn't have to look for a job, of course, which is the most difficult thing. And of course, at my age, it gets more and more difficult to find a job. So, yeah, I'm open to suggestions. I could live anywhere in Spain. I could live in Portugal. I could live in Australia. Why not? New Zealand would be a nice place. I could live down there as well. Simon, I think this is the same Simon that's left a few other comments. I've been following you before I moved to Spain. Love the content. I'm not sure how I can give you a monthly stipend. You mentioned many ways. Any chance of how? Well, I put them on the screen before, Simon. If you want to support the channel, probably the easiest way to do that is becoming a Patreon. So you have to go to patreon.com/Spain Speaks, or here on the YouTube channel, there's also an option to join as a member. If you go to the main channel page, you'll find that as well. Or even at the buymeacoffee.com/Spain Speaks, there's also an option there to support on a monthly basis as well. So there are some options. So, but I'm sure someone else in the comment section would be able to point you in the right direction as well. People that have become members of the channel, for example. But thanks for your interest there, Simon. What else we got going on here? Dwiki. I would love to see a video on your story of how you ended up in España. Well, that would be a long video, Dwiki. I don't know whether I've got time to prepare it, but thanks for the suggestion. I might put one of those. Mark, question. Have you looked a thermometer or you just believe the TV? Have you looked a thermometer or you just believe the TV? Well, I don't need to believe the TV or a thermometer because I feel the heat, Mark. I won't mention the grammar errors in your comment there, but Kev must agree with the need something to eat sentiment. Stew just about to kick off the traditional Jamaican jerk chicken barbecue. Thanks, Kev. Jamaican jerk chicken. That would be nice. Maybe I'll find a barbecue chicken restaurant close to where I am. I think there's one just around the corner. Jim, what a super channel. You do no bull, just honest fact and so professional. And can you talk Spanish or what? And a great sense of humor. Love the channel, Jim in Ireland. Thanks, Jim, for tuning in, and thanks for the compliments. I get every now and again people complimenting the channel. I get people criticizing the channel as well. You know how this works. You get 100 compliments and one negative comment, and that's the one that really stands out. But we brush them off. We brush them off and we move on. H3CJP, I hate summer so much. I'm in Galicia. The way they spell the word there. Galicia for the rest of us. Spain, and heat plus high humidity is, in his opinion, horrible. I would rather be in Madrid at 40 than here at 30. At least this hasn't been that warm. Lower than last year, probably. Yeah, the dry heat or the humid heat. I would take dry heat every day of the week, H3. Every day of the week, without a doubt. The humidity, just walking around, you start to sweat. Very uncomfortable, my opinion. Some people would prefer the humid heat. But again, if I had the choice, 40 degrees dry heat in Madrid or 32 degrees humid heat in inland Galicia, for example, I know what I would choose. I would be with you there. Mike coming in from Vermilion in Canada. We wish for 40 plus, no global warming here so far. Hello, Stu. So it's only 12 degrees there. Thanks for that, Mike. What else? What else? Let's have a look. What's this saying here? Mark here. I won't go up for the jabbed unfortunate. What? El Salvador is amazing now. Good luck to you. Off you go. See you later. Have a good time. El Salvador, fantastic country now apparently. What was it like 5 years ago? What's it going to be like in 5 years' time? Let us know, Mark. Enjoy the dinner. Thanks, Stephen. I will. If I find a restaurant that's open, everything seems to be closed. Hopefully some restaurants will open at around 8:30. I think I've checked on the internet. Some places will open. I'm looking to get something local. Maybe some meat tonight. Don't know. Maybe some chicken, as Kev's barbecuing up tonight. Cheers, Stu, says Simon from inland Almeria. Oh, so it's the same Simon that I've seen on the chat section quite a few times. Thanks, Simon, for that. Check it out. It's not difficult to do if you want to support the channel, Simon. You just have to maybe go to a few websites and try and work it out. What else we got going on? Let's have a look. When you're up this way, or probably down that way, Matharon, drop in. Jerk, goat curry, rice and peas and slaw is always an option. I will, Kev. Probably won't be back in Murcia for a while. I've been there 3 times already this year, I think. So I don't know whether I'll be back anytime soon, but if I am, I'll look you up. Patricia is in the chat here too. Late joining. The heat is going to get worse. Glad that they live there in Tenerife with a mountain that collects water from the increased rainfall and a nice Atlantic wind to cool off. We are around 28 degrees. Yes, the Canaries. Lovely. Simon, kids came over this weekend, age 27 plus girlfriend, but still the kids, of course. They are now in the pool. We had a lovely meal in the local bar, and the Tomato Man local farmer gave us roses. We love it. Thanks, Simon. Loving life down there in Spain. Nikki has just subscribed, thinking the money goes to you, but listening to your video sounds like as though it doesn't. Where does it go? The money, when it comes to YouTube, there is a bit of a split there, Nikki. I'm not sure what the percentage is, but they do take a cut. All of these places take a cut. I mean, it's their business model. So the creator, myself, for example, does end up with, let's say if you donate €1, for example, maybe I get 70 cents or something like that. I think that's the way it works, or 80 cents or something like that. It's not the full amount, but it is what it is. I think the best option is buy me a coffee. I think for the creator ending up with the most of the money, but YouTube can be a little bit over the top, I think. I think I just answered that question, Kev. I think the buy me a coffee one works out best for the creator, I think, but it doesn't matter. I don't care. Whatever you guys, whatever's easiest for you guys. Kristen, is it? Coming in from Denver, sunny 32 there, having a late breakfast of pan con tomate on the patio, watching the live stream. Thanks, Kirsten, for that. Kristen, sorry, not Kirsten. And sorry for the weird observation, says Xavier, but I think your eyebrows are raised 60% of the time. Well, because of that comment, Xavier, I'll raise them 90% of the time. How's that? Maybe I'll just start frowning. What do you reckon? Anyway, thanks for the comment. Now I'm going to wrap it up. There's one more coming through from Alan. Managed to make the live stream. Normally watch on catch up. Good evening from a grey Northern Ireland. Thanks, Alan, for joining. And on that note, being the last comment that I can see here, I'm going to wrap it up. It's been a pleasure as always. Back again on Tuesday, hopefully with another live stream. Hope to see you there. Hopefully some interesting things happen in the news. Nothing too serious, of course, but to keep everyone up to speed on what's going on in the country. So until then, hasta luego, hasta entonces, adios, bye-bye from the north of Spain.